YouTube this and Star Wars fans. My name is HK858. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to make another video. It's kind of a part 2, and I'm going to go into a little more detail because I have a little more time right now to record a video and put it up, talking about the changes, some of the changes I would suggest making towards the Phoenix Squad. Even though, one thing I will say, it'd be kind of cool to see an old version of Rex created for Phoenix Squad. Even though, yes, that's another rebel, but hey, he's part of Phoenix Squad. But going back to this, the current Phoenix Squad is great as is. It just needs to be better to be more meta-defining, because it gets destroyed by Zeta. Well, I guess I could say Zol teams, Zeta Maul teams, and Rex lead teams, etc. They get destroyed because there's a few things I've noticed that they don't output enough damage. For one, they could have a little more damage output. 2, they could have a little bit more survivability. But really, the main key I've noticed on a lot of videos when watching is they have no good cleanser. They don't have a really good cleanser to cleanse the negative status effects or debuffs that are on them. And honestly, I will say it would also be more handy if the team actually had a way of dealing with more than just 2 characters that do single target dispel effects. I can see that being better. And I'm gonna go back and forth between the form that I posted like months ago, or well, at least a month ago. So at its greatest, Outwit deals physical damage to target enemy. If the enemy was the healthiest enemy, also expose them for 1 turn. It's kind of interesting grammar, but I'm not a not grammar mathematician, grammar wizard, grammar specialist, master, whatever. So yeah, but anyways, this one I could also see, this ability I could see as a dispel or 2. Just to auto dispel, maybe add on. Yeah, on the last video I did talk about this ability to where it can dispel the ally, as well as dispel her and the ally of all negative status effects. I could also and I also suggested maybe if the health was like 80% or greater on the target, all enemies are called in. And then the target only gets the bonus damage and the bonus potency. Outside of that, I could also see a change where if the target is taunting or maybe has 2 or more positive status effects, that's when you call everyone in and then you dispel them all. I don't know. It could be played multiple different ways to making this team a little better. Especially if you get Hera going first, and if this ability, play to strengths, was a really great ability. If they had 100% health, like you're facing Baze, and every Phoenix Squad team attacks as well as they dispel all the all the buffs off of them, that'd be kind of nice. So there's some ideas out there to play around if developers ever get to my watching my video. And you guys could add some question or some suggestions in the comments below. Maybe post them on the forums. Maybe we get some ideas to improve Phoenix Squad. I'm not saying, like I said in the last video, on at least part 1, I didn't say make them overpowering. Just make it more of a free to play. Just omega them and that's it. This team can't, I don't see really needing to be zetaed. I can really see other characters that can be refixed to have some zetas. Maybe rework General Grievous, give him a Zeta. Give his Magna Guard a Zeta with a new look too, because I would like to see the cape version of the Magna Guard, or cloak, or whatever. But outside of this, I talked a lot about Hera and Kanan, but I'm going to talk about some of these other ones. So, Sabine, I didn't really have too much. The one let me go pop over to my forums. Yes, I did some Chopper stuff, because I will say Chopper is geared more towards Phoenix or Droid. Hera, I kind of talked about her. There was some little differences here, like Rebel allies gain 10 speed, 15 crit avoidance, 20 offense, and 30 defense. Or percentages. Let's see, where is Sabine's at the end. Yeah, I didn't really see any other changes for her. 'Cause she has some great abilities. Like, her Darksaber has a unique, negative status effect of something that can't be dispelled. But Demolish is what it was. Let me pop back over so I can pull up Demolish at its max. Oh, I just need to unlock that and I'll be done with her. Nice. Deal physical damage to all enemies. Expose and stagger target enemy for 2 turns. This attack can be countered or evaded. I thought that's kind of a cool, effect. I like the account can be countered or evaded. It would be nice to have just a few more characters like that have those abilities. Dooku now has it. Grievous has it. This one has it. But going back over, deal physical damage to all enemies, expose and stagger them for 2 turns. This attack can't be countered or evaded. This attack does plus 20% more damage towards Imperial Trooper enemies. Yes, I could see if they give a little more boost or maybe unlock a few more Imperial Trooper characters, then it'd be great to see, it would at least do some more damage towards some Imperial, or it could actually just do plus 20% more damage towards Empire enemies. But I chose Imperial Trooper enemies because she likes blowing stuff up, where like some of the shorts that they were from Season 1 of Rebels is where she sets grenades up on ties and then blows them up and they're all colorfully exploded. But yeah, outside of that, I don't see much more I would change with this. It wouldn't be a boost unless it was against Imperial Troopers. It'd be like the first thing that's great against Imperial Troopers, even though a lot of things are just great against Empire enemies in general. So outside of that, I didn't really do much changing. Zeb, I suggested yesterday Honor Guard gets taunt. Let's see, Zeb, there he is. Staggering Sweep also. So let's see, I'm going to show off Staggering Sweep. Deals damage to target enemy and stagger for 1 turn. Kind of punny in there. If target has no debuffs, this attack does 25% more damage. You can't be resisted. Too bad they didn't also say it can't be avoided. But yeah, that one's the current one. And then this idea was just deal physical damage, stagger for 1 turn. Target has no debuffs on the attack. The attack deals 30% more damage and can't be resisted. Another thing I like to add on this one is in addition, if the target had 3 more buffs, dispel all buffs on target. There's a dispeller on one of your allies. So you're facing against Baze and you have Zeb go first, you can stagger sweep him and knock him down. Stagger him for a turn. I could also even see maybe Daze, because you kind of can get dazed if you get tripped up like that. Anyways, and then Honor Guard, Zeb and target ally gains protection up for 2 turns, 50%. And then both gain tenacity up for 2 turns if they have no debuffs, or retribution for 2 turns if they do. Well, it's basically the normal, except the protection's up a little more. In addition, Zeb taunts for 2 turns and gains defense up for 2 turns. Kind of honor guarding, and there's no taunting effect. That would be cool to see. Is it this one? Oh no, this one is a 8. This one's at 7, so that one can be a little boosted a little more. But outside of that, that's my changes to Zeb. And I like that. What I added here on the forums. I like taking ideas from SWGOH.GG. Weird website name, but hey, it works. It's cool. It's a very helpful website. I have no complaints about how the website's set up, but and I take everything over and kind of copy paste the old one and then change around some of the wording and maybe some of the percentages, that kind of thing. So Kanan, I already talked about Kanan yesterday. It was Ezra that I didn't really talk about. Well, at the time of recording, I did it. I made the video yesterday and then uploaded it today. So today is June 13th. There you go. Let's see, Zeb, Ezra. So the Flourish and the Watch and Learn were the 2 that I changed. So Flourish deals physical damage to target enemy, dispel all buffs on them. If the enemy had no buffs, this attack's cooldown is reduced by 1, and he gains 50% turn meter instead. In addition, if 3 or more buffs are dispelled, Other Phoenix allies gain 30% turn meter. Non-Phoenix allies gain 15% turn meter. It's another one. It's one of those ones that's if there's like 3 or more, 2 or more, so there's kind of a catch to it, but it allows your team to get a little bit more if you just dispelled, taunt, retribution, and defense up or something. And then watch and learn is basically the same as the original, except I also added the heal effect for a healer. So if you do happen to have a healer like Barris, and you have Barris assist, and she gets that healed off her basic, and then this heals 15% of their max health to all allies upon attack, and then if the attack is evaded, 7.5% max health. So you're still kind of healing, so it's a kind of a supportive. And the reason why I chose that idea is because he does work well, and he's a Jedi, and he works well in Jedi teams, so there you go. But yeah, these are just my simple, quick things. Like, honestly, it'd be great to see these guys just get a little... Oh, wait, I forgot Chopper. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I forgot Chopper. Chopper, I will say, when I first saw him, I thought it was kind of cool. He had some unique abilities, but in the end, it was like, oh, come on. He's just not good enough, especially when they revealed R2. Like, I will say, R2-D2 is better than Chopper, 10 out of 10 times. HK-47, better than Chopper. K2SO, I still see him better than Chopper too. K2SO just has more viable use than Chopper does. And man, it's kind of sad that Chopper just kind of got shafted just a bit. Like, some of his abilities are unique. So yeah, you guys probably easily can look those up. But here's what I changed. And I kind of changed all of them. So it deals physical damage, target enemy, and grant a random Phoenix or Droid ally offense, defense, and speed up at random for 2 turns with 60% chance to reduce that ally's cooldown. So this would be kind of cool to actually see, especially on a droid team. Droid team, his basics useless currently, but if you have him some sort of like support, because he's kind of helped like maybe one droid at the AP or whatever that black droid is on Rebels. I can't remember, AP5 or something. But yeah, that matches his personality, weirdly enough. But yeah, this one actually can, in fact, be very useful to help support droids. So it makes them a little better. Then Cantankerous Clanker. Chopper gains taunt and critical immunity for 2 turns. And while he has this taunt buff, Chopper gains 30% evasion. I like the idea of giving him a little bit critical immunity, even so if he does get hit, he's not being critted. And has not a lot of high health. He's a support, but he also taunts, which is kind of weird. There's only one other support I've noticed that taunts in the game, and that is Rebel Hoth Rebel Trooper or something. But I did like the fact that when he taunts, he also gains evasion, because how he likes to roll around on his wheel. Metal Menace, dispel all buffs on target enemy. For each buff dispelled this way, all enemies lose 10% turn meter, and Chopper gains 25% protection. Droid allies also are stunned for 1 turn, and Empire targets are staggered for 1 turn. So he kind of does something towards Empire and droids. Even though you could always argue that droid and Empire targets can be stunned. And also I do know that they could always add another damage dealing effect, because Chopper does have a little stun thing similar to R2. It has been shown and used a few times in Rebels, so he could always have another kind of similar basic, and it'd just be like a 2-turn cooldown. Maybe it'd be a statically a type effect, like similar to Biggs' special or something. I don't know, something different they could always add. And then, so yeah, that's Metal Menace though. He stuns target droids. I know it doesn't boost him enough to really make him viable, but it does help. Maintenance Protocols. At the start of his turn, Chopper recovers 20% of his max health. In addition, whenever he's damaged by an attack, he also gains protection 20% up. Protection up if he doesn't have protection up. Other droids gain half these bonuses. So it kind of really supports droids. So outside of the other droids, like I like his unique to being in a way where he supports droids. Outside of using Hera's leader ability for all Phoenix, he has an ability that supports droids. And maybe some of the uniques can be added similarly to Ezra and Kanan for their abilities towards Jedi. Like they just have a smaller base amount. But yeah, these are my thoughts on Chopper and the rest of the Phoenix squad on changing them. So, let me know what you think. But, maybe give your ideas. Especially, I would also really suggest if you make a video of them, great, but throw them in the forums. The forums are a handy tool. I obviously don't work for the EA with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but I do like the forums because they do get great ideas. They get feedback, and I know their team isn't like as probably as amazing as everyone wants to think, and so I can understand that limited staff. And even though they have great developers for this great game, especially being on a mobile device, it's everyone's got to obviously give them time on some of these fixes, which are probably making like General Grievous and some of the other rework requests a lot better than what they have been. Even though I will say Tarkin doesn't seem all mad from the videos I've seen. But yeah, this is HK58. I'm going to let you go and have a wonderful day.